Sorry about that, but here we are, Nexus Gaming Series Season 7. Every time I touch my keyboard, the thing breaks, so I'm just going to stop touching it. But we're getting set here for a Division A matchup between... hang on, let me just let them know I'm ready. It's going to be Parsley, Snag, Rosemary, and Line, which is easily my favorite team name of the season. And Pixie Dusters. Now, I can fill. Um, yeah, so it's gonna be an exciting season here. A East. Let's just go ahead and take a quick look at the teams. In A East. Don't know why. One of my scenes has gone missing. Apologies for that. Um, Looking at it, I mean, all of these teams are NGS veterans, with the exception of Pixie Dusters. Pixie Dusters is a team that has no previous NGS players, near as I can tell. And so they're kind of this mystery team heading into a Division A East filled with veterans. So it's going to be really exciting to see how they do in this series against a team with a lot of veteran players and a lot of veteran casters. But already, I mean, you can see everyone talking about Winterheart, and that is not a mistake. Winterheart is just an absolutely fantastic player, going all the way back to earlier seasons especially, but even as early as I remember season 2 or 3, I believe he was already dominating NGS. So may actually be one of the best players in Division A East, and I say that he may be the best in A East, and I know that that's a bold statement this early in the season, but coming in on paper, he by far has the highest MMR by like 100 some points. So the question is, will Winterheart be able to push this team that sometimes has been kind of high B, low A? Will he be able to push them up to that top tier of Division A? It's going to be hard to see because even after this match is over, it's not going to really be known what the pecking order in A East is. The reality is we have a team that we're not familiar with in Pixie Dusters, so it's going to be exciting to see where we go. As we get set up for the match, looking at the map, ParsleySnagRosemany and Line won the toss, chose map pick over first draft pick. They banned out Alterac and Sky Temple. On the other side, it's going to be bans from Pixie Dusters of Braxis and Volskaya. And so it's going to take us to Towers of Doom for map 1. So kind of an interesting macro map. A map that definitely has a meta all its own in a lot of ways. Going to be exciting to see what happens with this map as we get into the game. And we are in Season 9 of the Nexus Gaming Series, so let's go ahead and just take a look at that intro video. Here we go. All right, and a huge thanks to Covey for putting that together, as well as the NGS community. A lot of different people stepped up and submitted clips for that video. Really excited to use that as an intro. I apologize it didn't work as an intro originally because something's going on with my hotkeys. So apparently every time I type a single letter, it's moving me to a different scene, which is not intended. So other than that, though, both teams in lobby. We're just getting set up here. We're going to hopefully get the draft started soon. In the meantime, though, teams kind of sharing some banter. We're 1 minute away from the official start of Season 9. This is the first game, so we're kicking off the season here. As I'm excited. There's no sports to turn to. Even if there were, it's summer. Who likes baseball? No one. No one likes baseball. If someone says they like baseball, they're lying to you. They like getting drunk in sunlight, and it just happens to be that there are people playing a sport in front of them, and that's what people like. And by the way, nothing wrong with that. Hey, Nothing wrong with that at all. But the reality is, without sports, we have to turn to NGS, and hopefully we can have quite a great show here. I'm excited to see these teams. I'm really excited to see the full kind of core roster of, Linehouse, Snag, Bobo, and Crow back together. They've done some good things in the past. Uh, Linehouse and Crow are just absolutely fantastic casters. They're significantly better than I am. So if you think like, wow, this sucks, hey, watch them. They'll do a better job. Um, I mean, you say you would never lie to me, but the problem is you're lying to me in the second half of that sentence, which also means you're lying in the first half, Mongoose. We're on to your games. But we are looking like we're going to get the start going, so we're going to go ahead and pop on over. See you in the draft. And here we go. It is official. My audio in-game is not working. One tickaroony, please. Hey, there we go. And here we go. First draft of the season. Let's close that chat window. As we head in, it's going to be ParsleySnagRosemany in line versus Pixie Dusters. And Pixie Dusters getting first pick. This was Parsley's map. We're going to see what gets banned. One of the things that we're going to have to be contending with as we start NGS Season 9 is that we are in a very new meta, and not many people, I think, have a good grasp on what that meta is going to be as we head into the season. We're going to be dealing with stronger towers, and on this map in particular, if you lose your bottom keep and the enemy team commits to controlling it, it's going to be really, really hard to get that back. So already denying the global solo lane of Deathwing. Strong hero in general. You see it banned out a lot just for its basic strength, but especially on this map, the global into the fight always makes him a threat. We're going to see Malthael banned on the other side. Malthael is, of course, incredibly strong on this map. You go on a pale horse. You can easily double soak even as early as level 1 and 4-man push bot. So a very smart ban by Parsley. I like that quite a lot. I'm going to call them PSRL or just Parsley. I don't know which I'm going to call them yet, but we will see. But double soak is a popular strategy on this map, especially, and already we're seeing a heavy emphasis on banning those solo lanes as we see Leo taken out here. The only solo lane left that you really think of as very popular on this map, I would say uniquely popular in this map, might be Dahaka. Rag can also be okay on this map as well for the double soak, but Dahaka tends to be really good because of the way the objective works. Zul is still available. That's a good point. Zul is available, but they're going to ban the Joe, so this leaves the Zul up potentially for the members of Pixie Duster. And Zul, a strong hero at the moment, doing quite a lot of damage when he gets going. So we're going to be very interested to see if he gets grabbed. Keep in mind that heroes like Garrosh are still up as well. Very popular hero. I'm going to throw a curveball at you here. Okay, Zul is going to get picked, but I'm going to throw a curveball at you here. Zagara. I expect we might see Zagara in this series. Zagara right now is actually really doing a ton of damage with a lot of the percent tools that have become available, and I've been seeing a significant growth in her popularity. I don't know if we'll get it today, but I think Zagara might show up this season. There's the Dahaka. And Greymane. So Greymane always been a very, very popular choice at that ranged assassin. It seems like he's meta-proof. Greymane just always shows up. Through buffs, through nerfs, he's kind of always there, and it's just that versatility of being able to sit back and poke, but then go in and finish. He brings really what you want from both of your assassins, sustained damage and that critical burst, as well as the tank killing with the Cursed Bullet. Speaking of tank killing, we just got a pretty beefy boy right there in the Garrosh, paired with the Raynor. And that is a lot of control in terms of the Garrosh and Zul. That's going to be a hard front line to get past with the Zul roots, with that Garrosh standing up front. It's going to be a challenge for the Greymane. He's going to have to bait out some cooldowns before he tries to go for that tasty-looking Raynor in the back. And let's be honest, that Raynor is very, very tasty looking. I'm not saying I'd resort to cannibalism, but, like, is eating a pinky a cannibalism? I don't know. It's an ethical question. Science hasn't advanced to the point that we have an answer yet. Point being, I would eat Raynor's pinky. That said, Mega Muffin is right on cue. I expect that the first healer picked is going to be Rhaegar, and you might be joking about Bloodlust, but I am not. Bloodlust is the better ult on Rhaegar right now. Because every game, almost, Towers of Doom's a little bit immune to this, but otherwise, most games are going to go to 20. Rhaegar's 20 Bloodlust basically makes it a pseudo-global ability. The range is hilarious. And it's 18 seconds of Bloodlust. 18 seconds of Bloodlust. But it's going to be the Anduin picked first. Anduin and Kael'thas. So Kael'thas going to have some AoE damage. Going to give them a lot of wave clear. The Anduin's always a good choice with the Garrosh. You can save someone one time. But that said, I expect a Rhaegar here, and I think Mega Muffin was right on point. When you looked at some of the European games, the in-house league, you saw a lot of Bloodlust Rhaegar. Almost exclusively Bloodlust Rhaegar. We're not going to get it, though. We're going to get the Lucio and the Thrall. Okay, so Thrall is going to be the solo laner. It's going to... actually, no. Thrall or Zul could solo lane. Actually, Thrall, that's why Thrall's picked. The follow-up route on the Garrosh flip. Okay, that makes sense. So, you have the follow-up route with the Thrall. I expect Zul to be solo laning then. It's going to be a Nubarak is the last pick. That's an interesting choice. I have not been seeing as much of Nubarak lately. But, we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for this match. I'm excited to get started. As we get set up for game number 1, going to jump right into Nexus Gaming Series action. It's going to be... give me one sec as I'm getting things squared away here on my screen. Trying to put together a few things here for you. A few little bits and nibbles. You know, and because this is the first season, we don't really have a lot of stats to bring you. We are going to be kind of flying a bit blind, especially when it comes to Pixie Dusters, as we simply don't really know the strengths and weaknesses of really any of the players on this team yet, given that we haven't had a chance to see them. So it's going to be exciting. Yeah, the Anub into the Raynor is a bit concerning. There's a lot of auto attack damage on the side of Pixie Dusters, and if I were just going off draft, and I kind of have to because I don't really know anything else about the teams here, I would say that I would not be shocked if I could convince myself that Pixie Dusters has, I think, the better draft here, but having a little bit of a slow load getting into the game, but we are getting there all the same. Okay, and here we go.
Prepare yourself for battle.
Give me 1 second. As we get started in this series, it's going to be on the left. ParsleySnagRosemany and Line's going to have a Linehouse playing Anduin, Winterheart on the Greymane, Snag on the Anubarak, Crow on the Dahaka, and Professor Bobo on Kael'thas. Give a shout out for them in chat. And on the other side, the mysterious strangers that are Pixie Dusters, Obsidian Mind on Thrall, and Paper Tanks on Raynor, Battle Puppy on Lucio, Bersiah on the Zul, and Spartan going to be playing that Garrosh as we head in. Let's take a look at those always important talents as these two teams are lining up, looking like we might see that brawl. Garrosh comp, always you think has maybe the advantage here. Indeed, same here, Ryukai. And I forgot, yes, good point, Ektar. It is an unbanned Toymount meta. There's a flip, followed up by the root. Snag, though, gonna be able to burrow charge out of there with just the sliver of health. Got the W off, and it may have been the difference in staying alive. Anduin throwing out a couple heals as well as they start to rotate down. So, not able to get that early pick on the side of Pixie Dusters. Dahaka up in this top lane now, starting this double soak. Gonna have a harder time, you would imagine, keeping up with the Zul, but not too bad. We are seeing Dahaka going with the movement speed talent, and the Kael'thas actually is gonna help out the Dahaka, rotating up. So it looks like they want to do a more classic, kind of an older school mid-bot rotation, but the Garrosh is gonna make that pretty difficult as he steps up. Gonna take some living bomb damage, but, you know, nothing too serious to worry about. And Raynor did go stacking quest. That is correct. You are on the right trail by pointing that out. Anduin is going into the Renew as well. A standard choice, especially into the Garrosh. It's generally not safe to go into the full auto attack build with Bolt strategy, just because it's hard to step up, it's risky to step up. And going to be able to really get a lot more sustained healing. The Bolt strategy comp really doesn't come online until 20, so it's going to be a bit tricky. Meanwhile, though, we are seeing Dahaka getting into the double soak rhythm with the Zul. Keeping an eye down here in the bottom. Both tanks fairly low, but Garrosh less worried when he's this low. He's sitting at about 28%. Snag going in, looking for some kind of CC, but I don't find enough. Paper Tank's being very aggressive. Looks like we're going to see maybe a rotation mid, at least by Winterheart, just to try to help Dahaka catch up here. And actually, Winterheart's stepping up really aggressively there, going to get rooted. Thrall coming in on the rotation. Now, it looks like he's heading back down, hovering back mid. Now he's... Oh, God, where's he going? Oh, God! Sorry about that. I think into the Garrosh, though, the bold strategy can be a bit tricky to get off. Even once you get level 4, I liked the safer pick of the Renew into the Moral Compass on the Anduin, given the enemy team's comp. Because Anduin really can't step up against this much CC. So I do like that choice. Yeah, the healing on demand's a bit of an issue. But you can always go into things like Inner Focus that can help out with that. Post 16. Light Bomb's available. Garrosh stepping up really hard for the Anduin, but the rest of his team really didn't get the memo there. And Dahaka able to rotate down faster, but it might not be enough as Spartan goes down, and we have the first kill of the season for NGS. I may not have the 30-second delay on. I apologize. I will correct it as soon as I am able. I will have to kill the stream briefly. Sorry, I use also this same computer for teaching, and with teaching, turning on a 30-second delay is a really bad idea. So we will try to fix this as soon as we can, and once again, apologies. Still, though, early advantage to Parsley, as we see both the Pumpkin Sapper camps getting picked up here. Thrall right now trying to pick up this mid-soak as we see Zul pushing in against this Dahaka, but with the new towers, you really can't do a whole lot to support your wave. If you get a lead, it's still risky to step up. Well, I may do it again tomorrow because I have to teach my last lecture tomorrow, but then after that, I'll just keep the 30-second delay on at all times. Actually, usually I do a 60-second delay. Apologies there, both teams. But with that, taking a look once again, level 7 talents, we are seeing Anduin go with this blinding heal, so trying to keep himself up a lot. Oh, Anub'arak maybe stepped forward too far. Nope, had the burrow charge. It's going to be okay, and it's actually Raynor getting picked up by the living bomb. So 2 kills now for Parsley as they extend their lead out to half a level, heading into level 10, but we're heading into the second shrine phase. 25 seconds until that kicks off. still, they get the front wall, and that's huge. Hard to push into the towers with that -10 armor, but a wise rotation here from Crow. Already coming down to the bottom. Zul up in the top, getting some soak to be missed. But Greyman going to pick up quite a bit of it. And it looks like both teams going to be content to trade out here. Nobody stepping up looking for the aggressive play, and so this should carry the 4-point lead in favor of Parsley into the level 10s. And no level 10 advantage during the Shrine phase. So we'll see what happens. Parsley just picked it up. We're seeing a rotation coming top, though, from the side of Pixie Dusters. And not really going to be able to step up the contest without those critical level 10s, but still grabbing Soak and now switching Zul into that mid-bot rotation. As we move in, though, Pumpkin Sappers come in. Only one gets onto the tower, but it does quite a healthy dose of damage. That's about half the HP. Are we going to see Parsley look maybe for a pick? No, Professor Bobo was a little bit behind. Going to have to mount up and stay mounted here, but here we go, moving in. Looks like Kiltoss is a bit slow. There's the flip into the taunt, but a great cleanse there by Linehouse disengages that. And that's a Warlord's Challenge for a cleanse. The Warlord's Challenge, though, is on a shorter cooldown. So look for Pixie Dusters to stay aggressive here and to step up potentially, especially here in about 30 seconds, as they do have about a 35-second advantage in terms of when Warlord challenges back up versus when cleanses back up. So it could turn into a good fight for them. And this is going to be a single altar phase in the bottom. And generally with the Garrosh comp, you want to get to objectives early so Garrosh can stand there, maybe come in from a bush gank, or just prevent the enemy team from engaging. And they did get down to the bottom lane, but it looks like they didn't really want to make a play for the objective. So they're going to kind of lose that positional advantage. Now, Zul is going to rotate mid. Actually, no, he's not even clearing the mid lane. So Zul is coming straight down. We are seeing Dahaka go for the tap, and I expect him to burrow in. There's a stun, but not really stepping up for any damage yet. It's a 4v5 at the moment. They got to be worried about that Dahaka coming in the side flank. And here he comes, and Garrosh is already quite low. There's Ranger throwing out his ult, as well as the Earthquake. Light Bomb, though, comes out onto the Anoop. Little bit of a miss. Ton of damage going out to both sides, but it looks like Josiah right now on the other side of the enemy team. But Dahaka is low. He's going to have to burrow out. They're all looking for it, but he misses. The root doesn't matter, though, as he gets the kill. And it's actually going to be 2 kills now as Anubarak also getting separated. Linehouse, he might be in trouble. He does go down. The root comes out. Greyman trying to get the finish on the Spartan, not able to do so. And that is 3 kills. First 3 kills for Pixie Dusters. And very important kills they were, as it's going to give them a chance not just to get back into this game, but start to get a lead of their own. As they're up about a quarter level on XP now. And they are tied on Sappers. Great first. That was really the first team fight, I would say, of NGS, and it was a good team fight. Dahaka ISO did get interrupted there. Wasn't able to call it just because there's so much going on, but Dahaka did get interrupted out of his ISO, and that was huge because it prevented the silence from coming in, which they really, I think, needed in order to get the kind of engage they wanted. So good job there on that interrupt. Meanwhile, Zul just passive soaking here. Not really needing to step up, not feeling the need for speed. But now with Greyman rotating away, stepping up, gonna go ahead and clear that lane. We see level 13 talents coming in now. And Anduin gonna go with that movement speed on the cleanse. Usually indicates a double cleanse at 20, which I fully expected into this comp. I would still say that I've always been a fan of push forward, but I'm okay with that. Now, Snag positioning very aggressively. Rest of the team not there. They're currently setting up to trade camps. Looks like neither team wants to be the aggressor here. Both teams kind of just waiting for their moment to push each other. We'll see how it goes. It is going to be a mid-bot shrine, so we can take a step back here and take a look. Oops. Didn't mean to do a little stutter there. Now, Dahaka rotating down onto the Zul, but Zul going to have to mount up. Dahaka going to clear this up for the time being. And it looks like the fight's going to be over mid at the moment, as nobody currently channeling in the bottom. Zul coming in for the channel, gets interrupted by that Anoob's spines. but now rotating out to join the fight. 4v5 at the moment. Garrosh selling out for the Greymane, but gets interrupted. But there's the Warlord's challenge onto a noob. A noob does drop the W, but there is so much CC. The Light Bomb comes in just too late, and that is going to be Light Bomb down. Winterheart, meanwhile, has to get pulled out by Linehouse. The question now is Linehouse going to go away? I think Linehouse is, but that was a big kill onto that Anubarak. Just didn't quite get there with getting Anubarak out of the fight. Couldn't quite get that burrow charge off. And Spartan surviving at very low health, but that's what Garrosh excels at. So with that, Zool back into the rotations. Thrall trying to help out, help a buddy out, get some stalls there. Zool rotating very aggressively for the soak. Crow looking for it, has the movement speed. Can't quite get the tongue yet, but here it comes, maybe. Nope, Root comes in, so Dahaka decides to back off. Meanwhile, down here in the bottom, Winterheart trying to rotate. Gonna get picked out here by the Rainer. Has to do some nifty moves just to get out of there. Now there's a Root onto a noob. Kael'thas completely zoned out. And if he wants to get to bottom, he's gonna have to take the long way. As even Snag zoned out of there. Great aggression here by Pixie Dusters. Trying to control the left side of the map as well, and there's a slow onto Snag. Snag gonna get focused there, but did have his burrow charge up. Great patience on the burrow charge there by Snag. And so with that, level 16 here for the side of Pixie Dusters. Gonna get picked up in just a second. There it is. And so let's take a look once again at those talents. We see Greymane going with that Executioner. Gonna try to get some extra damage out. That percent damage that comes with it. Excuse me, not percent damage. Extra damage that comes with it will help a bit, although there's still the armor of the Garrosh. Even-handed blessings from Anduin. I don't see this talent picked a lot by other people, but I love this talent. I think it's very strong. Now, Thrall is very far forward, spying onto Professor Bobo, who is doing the camp. Professor Bobo currently now getting isolated by the Thrall. The camp is available, but the team fight is ongoing. There's the Light Bomb. Huge Light Bomb stuns too. Now Thrall on the wrong side of the enemy team. He is isolated, does get out, and Nubarak goes in, but he does trade out there. He is down, but there's the Flame Strike with the tongue. Gonna secure the kill onto the Garrosh. Winterheart chases down Lucio, and now Paper Tank's gonna have the knockback to save himself. But that is a 3-for-1 trade, and a great job there, and that's gonna open up the Sappers and potentially open up this bottom lane. And once you get control of bottom lane with this new change, it is so difficult to get it back. Greymane gonna try to mount a desperate defense here, but he needs to be careful not to get picked off. Rainer is gonna try to mount the desperate defense. Does throw out the knockback, but doesn't really do anything with it, and it's just hard to do anything with it. And with this keep going down, these Sappers are actually now a threat to get 3 more points into core. So this could potentially turn into only a 1-point lead for Pixie Dusters after they won both the last shrines to open up a lead. Meanwhile, Zul's still trying to rotate. Dahaka spying it out, gonna use that bush. I love how Crow is weaving in and out of the bushes for that movement speed, but good use of the stasis to neuter the Zul root there. So already you're seeing exactly what you would expect, a heavy defense onto this bot, and the problem is you can't stack up a bottom wave to get minions. There's no way to have 2 waves of minions on this fort. And so you really have to pick your chances to get damage onto the structure itself. But if the enemy team wants to commit 4 people to defending, you're kind of just SOL. You have to just wait, look for advantages in other lanes, etc. But, I mean, even when they clear this, they're only going to have 7 minions with a Kael'thas defending. I just don't see a reasonable time frame for Pixie Dusters to get this back before the next objective. And that means the next objective could be quite powerful. Now, the Yamada Cannon is going to help, and actually it looks like 3v4. We're going to see the disengage, so that will be... Oh, Dahaka coming down now. The fort just goes down, but there's the Light Bomb with the burrow charge. Hits the 3-man stun. Now Lucio on the wrong side of the enemy team. There's a tongue under the Garrosh, pulling the enemy back in. ISO on him. He's going to die to poison damage. No, the Sound Barrier is going to save him. Absolutely fantastic play there by Battle Puppy to save his tank. Good job. But even still, even with all that strength, actually, you're seeing right now that ParsleySnagRosemany, and Line, forgive me, actually lost that because Zul flanked around to the back while we were all paying attention to that team fight, and he snaked the single turret. And so that's going to be, with the keep picked up 4 more points, so it's a 5-point lead now for the members of Pixie Dusters. Snag now in a bad spot. No, he has the burrow charge. He gets out. He's going to live to see another day. Dahaka, Zul, still rotating. The mid structures are weak, though, so a lost team fight could turn into a very quick 2-keep capture for either team. And it looks like it's going to be potentially a fight over this. Oh, there's the taunt coming in. Separation out onto Winterheart. Light Bomb, though, comes in, secures the kill onto Garrosh. Now Winterheart starting to get some focus going to town. And goodness, what great heals there by Lighthouse, keeping Winterheart up. And that's going to secure another kill onto the Zul. And there's the stun on the Lucio, and down he goes. And that is exactly what the doctor ordered. He ordered a healthy dose of Parsley. I was going to say Sage, but that doesn't really work with the team name. Let's just say he wanted you to eat a lot of Parsley. I know that doesn't make sense, but what a hell of an engage there by the members of Parsley, as now they turn this into a boss. Sapper's walking in, going to do some damage here. But that's going to be 4 shots. Let's see if they can maybe grab a keep here as well. Zul and Lucio still in the penalty box for 15 and 25 seconds respectively. Doesn't look like they want to push in the mid. Looks like they want to just get control of this objective, get the 4 shots, and go up by 3 in this game. I would have liked to have seen them, though, maybe push some camps here, maybe push this keep down here in the bottom. I think they had the opportunity to do so with the penalty box on the field, taking 2 members of Pixie Dusters off. So they could have turned it into a 4-point lead. Still, though, 3 points, nothing to sneeze at this late in the game. And it's going to be a really good game. This really has been a fantastic game, though, for the season. I completely agree. And we're getting a treat. We are absolutely getting a treat. Pardon me. Dahaka, meanwhile, pushing in this top lane. He's going to get the top. This potentially sets up a 6 cap. As you look, there's no towers anywhere for the members of Pixie Dusters, and they're not gonna, they have to kind of stay bot. They have to try to get this bottom back. Raynor does have his ult available, but it's just so hard to push in against these towers. Blizz, please. As look, even when they focus on clearing the enemy minions, they get 1 tower shot onto a minion. They weren't going to really be able to do much with that. Thrall looking for some kind of route, maybe onto the Haka in the bush. Both teams trying to keep eyes on that bush, but potentially a flank here by the Raynor maybe. Zul is still top at the moment, but they are going to have to rotate up and around in order to get to the shrine, as they don't have access to the bottom. They're not going to have their tap either. And so this is rather tense at the moment. Both teams kind of just playing around each other, looking for the opportunity. Now, Dahaka is rotating at the moment, but he can Z into this fight. There is Snag getting kind of targeted as he stepped up to look for the enemy team. There's the taunt. Snag might go down. Indeed, he does. Snag getting dropped there, and that might put Pixie Dusters back in the game. But keep in mind, this tower is not safe ground for the members of Pixie, and the Light Bomb once again securing the kill. Lighthouse with some fantastic Light Bombs there, but the Yamato Cannon is going to secure the kill onto Professor Bobo on that Kael'thas. This should be the shrine going over to the members of Pixie Dusters. Winterheart needs to be really careful stepping up. I think they need to give this. They will still have a 3-point lead, and that 3-point lead is critical. It is equivalent to, say hypothetically, some sappers, as, ooh, it looks like Thrall went down, maybe chasing a bit too hard, and you're seeing Lighthouse and Winterheart playing around their structure extremely well, baiting out the armor. Really, really good job. Now, Winterheart clearing up this lane. Needs to be careful, though. He's so low health, but that said, Raynor, look, you can just see the armor stacking that damage, and Winterheart going to back up, but he did exactly everything he needed to do here in this bottom lane. He stalled out, so the entire penalty box time for the members of Parsley was spent cleaning up this structure. Securing the counter kill on the Thrall was just nothing short of critical. Not only keeping Parsley in this game, but keeping them in the lead. I see Greymane currently hovering around the tunnel, maybe looking for some kind of quick pick of someone rotating through. Looks like they might head top. They might look for the Zul, or they might just try to finish off this very weak top keep.
Once more, the altars rise from
Zul
the
currently
depths.
scouting, looking for the enemy team. Now they're going to recognize, oh, it looks like they're all top. Sappers are going to get grabbed here by Winterheart. Zappers being started by Garrosh as well. But the next objective is bottom, and it is 2. Now, I don't think either team is going to be in a position where one altar is going to win them the game. Looks like in a best case, Parsley might have 5 shots. But that said, they got to be so careful on this rotation. That Snag, though, learning his lesson. Spotting 4 members of Pixie Dusters in the bush with that Q. Phoenix, though, comes out early, and that is an early ultimate on an objective where you might want to do that. Are we going to see the trade out? Raynor is grabbing the bottom, but meanwhile, here in the mid, Root coming in on the Snag. Dahaka thrown out of the fight. Still, though, there is the Light Bomb trying to move onto the backline, trying to get onto Thrall. A little bit of disconnect, though, as Crow had his energy focused onto the Garrosh. There's the Warlord Challenge, collecting 3. Razan, meanwhile, just going to town on the Anduin, who has a 75 healing reduction, but manages to sneak out of the fight. And Nubarak, though, can't say the same. And there's the stun on the Crow. Crow going to have to use the Burrowing Claws to get out of there. He is still stunned, though. There's the cleanse from Anduin, and the heal comes in, and he's going to survive. Meanwhile, Lucio, though, gets chased down by the Greymane, who does trade 1-for-1 out there. The Hawk is coming back in. Can they get the interrupt? Zul breaks the channel knowing the interrupt is coming. This is risky to stay here, though, and I think they're going to have to give this up. So it's going to be 6-3 in favor of Pixie Dusters, winning both shrines there. And you've seen multiple times that Pixie Dusters has managed to kind of sneak an objective that Parsley wasn't paying attention to while keeping Parsley's attention in a 4v5. And now this is boss point, as we're seeing an immediate turn onto the boss, trying to take advantage of the 4v3. That said, the health bars are quite low here, and without the Lucio, this is just an incredibly risky play. This might be a situation where they need to just stall this out, not try to fight it. They're trying to keep it aggroed and see if they can bait a mistake out of the members of Parsley, but Parsley very, very patient there. Great shot calling, not trying to engage. Great shot calling as well by Pixie Dusters. It's worth trying to start that, but the second you realize you don't have healer, even though you have 4v5, you're in a bad spot. There is an early cocoon on to the Raynor. Garrosh stepping up, has into the fray. There's the Light Bomb as Garrosh throws the Light Bomb target right into the back of his team. That could help, and there down goes Lucio. Garrosh is completely out of the fight, but Winterheart and Professor Bobo are incredibly low. Lighthouse doing whatever he can to keep his team alive, but he's going to go down, and Noob's going to go down. Great route there by Obsidian Mind on the throw. Winterheart and Professor Bobo are so low, they have to walk away. The Raynor can just pop them with one more shot. The question is, there's the root onto the Haka, and that's going to secure the kill. 3-for-1, and this is a disaster, as now the boss could be picked up by Pixie Dusters for the win. They can leave Garrosh there. They once again do not have a healer, but it looks like they're just going to play safe. They're just going to take the altar, not going to go for the boss point. That's the right call here. Front and back altar going to be used. Winterheart trying to be desperate, not going to happen. And that is going to be game 1, headed over to the members of Pixie Dusters, as there we go. All right. It's a heck of a game 1. Really, really great game 1. Off to a wild start. Pixie Dusters immediately coming in, fitting right in to this division. Punching the first face they see. It's like you show up in prison, you got to kick some guy's ass the first day. And that's what Pixie Dusters are trying to do. Was not an ass kicking, by the way. An incredibly close game. But there was a lot of craftiness that we saw out of Pixie Dusters that paid off. And a lot of kind of stolen shrines in situations, even when they had a disadvantage. So this is going to be a really great series here as we take one last look at those talents. But we're going to have to take a brief break. I'm going to have to cut the stream off just for a second to turn on the 30-second delay. So there will be nothing for 30 seconds. Stay with me. We'll be right back. Thanks for watching.